Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. This is Gaurav here, and today is the day when we will create our first Unity project. So friends, let's get started. To create your Unity project at first time, you just need to open Unity Hub. Okay, now let's open the Unity Hub. When Unity Hub open, you just need to click new button. If you have more than one Unity versions like this I have, so just select on any version you like. Or if you are very new and you are making your first ever project, okay, let's click on new button like that. After clicking new button, you will see a pop-up appear in front of you, and there is a bunch of templates, but we are interested on 3D and 2D templates. But for today's project we will choose 3D template and select 3D template and give your project any name and select location where you want to save your project. Okay, so my project name is just test project, so it's a test project. Okay, but the location I just want to save on desktop. You can save anywhere you want, and then click on create button and leave it for a while because it will take some time depending on your PC. As you can see, there is a file appear in my desktop which is my project root file. Okay, now this is the Unity's interface. Look at that, so beautiful, isn't it? Don't be afraid if you are new, cause I was afraid when I was new and first time, but you don't because I am with you. Now there is a few main areas that I'm trying to pointing out. Okay, now here we have a hierarchy tab on the upper left corner. That's a place where all of our game object will shown here. For now we can see there is a sample scene here. Let's open it. Click on the arrow button here, which is just beside of the sample scene. And look, we have got a game objects here. First one is a main camera and the second one it's a direction light. Now look at that, when I click on these game objects in the hierarchy tab, you'll notice that it's highlighting them within our scene tab. In the scene tab you can see here we have our main camera, and also you will notice that whenever we will click on these game objects in the hierarchy, you will notice that our inspector also changes. See? Okay, let's talk about inspector tab. Well, the inspector tab is the place that gives us all the information about that particular game object which we selected at the time. All the things that we can changes on the game objects, and also about all the components that are on the game object. Well, as you know that camera is a game object which is on our scene tab representing in the hierarchy. And look, it has a bunch of components here. See, here these are the components of the camera, transform, camera, audio listener. These are the components. These are the components that make the main camera in the game. Okay, every game object in the scene tab will have a transform component. See here. Well, the transform stands for the position, rotation and the scale of the game object. In other words, where it's in the world, which way it's rotating, and also how large it's scaled. Got it? Now if we select the direction light, here you can see that again we have a transform component here, and look, we got a new type of component here which is a light. And look at that, light has a plenty of information about light. For example, look at that color, which is about, obviously it's about color, but now, okay, now let's take other example. It's intensity. It controls brightness of the light. Okay, now let's go down there. At the bottom left corner here we have our project tab, and again there's a lots of things here, but relax dude, for now just be with me. And here we can see there's an assets folder here. Let's open the assets folder, and you see there's another folder within that. Click on scene, you can see that there's a sample scene. That's the scene where we are working on it. Might you wondering that what's a scene exactly? Well, scene is you can consider it environment, world, or a game level. Well, yeah, game level is the correct word for the scene, because at the end scene will be a game level, isn't it? For now we have got only one scene at the moment within our project tab. For now, sample scene is a current scene where we are working on it. And look, here is a star or an asterisk symbol just here at the end. See, and also here is 2 just after the sample scene in the hierarchy tab. See that? That's a star symbol, means your project isn't saved yet. To save your project, you just need to press Ctrl S for PC and Command S for the Mac. And also we can save our project by clicking on the file which is on top left corner and then press save button. Simple. And then you will see that the star or asterisk symbol goes away. It means your project is saved on hard drive. Okay, let's see where our project is saved. To see that, I'm just gonna right click on the sample scene and then click on the show in Explorer button. When I do that, it will send us into the repository folder where our project is saved. Look, here's our sample scene is saved in the scene folder. And now I'm gonna add another game object here. Right click on the hierarchy tab and then click on the 3D object button. And here we got a bunch of default game objects here, like cube, sphere, cylinder, etc. But for now, let's create a cube. You'll notice that here a cube appears in the hierarchy, also in the scene tab. Now let's play with that little cube in the scene tab. And there's many ways to look our object in scene tab. Let's have a look around it. You can pan around the world by pressing middle mouse button and then drag your mouse here and there everywhere. And if you hold down Alt and left mouse button, you can able to rotate around the object like that. See? And if you just hold down right mouse button, you can look around the world from the spots where you are currently at the moment. You can rotate mouse wheel backward and forward to zoom in and zoom out. And you can also hold Alt and right mouse button to do smooth zoom in and zoom out. Got it? Well, there's one more thing here. Many times you will face a situation when you are very far from your object or having trouble to find out that particular game object at the time. You just need to select that object in the hierarchy tab and press F key on the keyboard. Then you will see that it's focused on that particular game object. And also you just double click on that particular object in the hierarchy tab, it will still focus on the game object. Very handy, isn't it? Okay, let's manipulate that little cube. We can change it in many different ways. But first, let me introduce you guys with these very important tools here over there. You can see them in a row on the top left corner. See, these guys are very important tools in the editor. First one is just a simple hand tool. It's the same thing on the middle mouse button. And the second one is a move tool, which is currently highlighting here. And the next one is the rotate tool, and then scale tool, and the last is rect tool. Okay, there is a shortcut key on the keyboard which is QWERT. I always recommend you to get used to with these shortcut keys because you will use these tools every time, and instead of using mouse to click on them, it's better to use shortcut keys. Very easy. Let's start with the W tool, which is move tool. When you hit W, you can see that there is a handles appears on the cube. These handles are related to the coordinates. Each handles represent to particular axis. Like red handle is for x-axis, green handle is for y-axis, and the Z handle is represent to Z-axis. Okay, now let's press R button, which is scale tool, which allows me to change its size. Notice that when I click on the gray gizmo here, just in the middle of the cube, and drag mouse to up, you will see that the cube is expands. Also same if I drag mouse down, it shrinks. Cool. But look, if I grab one of these handle of the axis, that will allow me to change the particular axis to stretch in that area. Okay, well, let's make something interesting, like any vehicle. Well, I'm gonna make a water truck, and you can make anything. Okay, now I'm gonna duplicate this cube right now. Press Ctrl D to duplicate, or Command if you are using Mac. Now you can see that it's duplicated, but we can't see that right now because it's currently overlapping each other. The first cube and the second cube exactly in the same place. Now let's drag that cube a little bit up and reset its transform. To reset its transform, just right click on the transform component and select the reset button, and then you will see that it's changed to its default position and default scale. And now if you wanna align that cube to other cube, you just need to hold V button on your keyboard, and you will see that there is a little gizmo or a little box appear in the corners. When you hover mouse on the corner, you see. Now while holding V key, click on the cube's corners and drag to the anywhere on the other cube's corner, and then you will see that the cube just snapped to the other cube perfectly. So satisfying, isn't it? Well, I think this video gonna be too big, so I'm just gonna fast forward this video. Now here's our water truck, and now let me show you its components. I'm sure you noticed that there's a folder which contains truck's parts, right? Well friends, it's a empty game object. It's like a cover which holds everything in it. Cause this empty game object holding all of these truck's parts, so it's become a parent game object. Means other part is just a child of that empty game object, so that it will be a single game object. See, when I move this game object, I mean this empty game object, these trucks parts also moves. And yeah, it's a good habit to give your object any suitable name like I did. It makes easy to identify each game object and no confusion. Okay guys, now I think it's a time to end this video, and I'll meet you again in further upcoming videos. For now, see you later.